Today we are building what may seem like a very boring mid to high range gaming PC with a Ryzen 7 9700X, RTX 4070 Super, and basically the usual stuff that's gonna make you play at 1080p, very high refresh rate, or 1440p high refresh rate. However, what makes all of this interesting is what we have on this side, and it's all the new hardware that's being released, because in 2025, with the Expo, CES, and also just in general, people are just releasing a lot of new stuff that's not inherent to GPUs, CPUs, and motherboards. So basically, new cases, new fans, new power supplies, new water coolers, there's a lot of stuff. And today we're doing an all Phanteks build that's based around this Phanteks NV5 case. Finally, we have something new in the aquarium space, finally. So we're getting this, we're filling it up with all of the new Phanteks fan with an infinity mirror inside the center of the fan, and it's the M25 120 G2 in a triple pack and also some single ones because the case has a diagonal fan to be mounted in a weird place. Stay tuned for that. We are also getting the new Glacier 1360 for the all-in-one cooler, still with M25 fans, of course, and their latest Phanteks amp GH 850 watt 80 plus gold PSU, which has the PCIe 5.1 standard, so brand new for RTX 5000. Now, the reason why we don't have RTX 5000 here is that, well, we don't have anything to replace the range of a 4070 Super yet, as I'm talking. Also because it's basically impossible to get the cards that came out. So if you want to build a mid-range system, RTX 4000 is still the way to go. And I actually recommend, if you can, you go used. For the Ryzen 7 9700X, it's the best value CPU on this segment at the moment because you can get cheaper RAM. The new Core Ultra 5 245K is faster than this by quite a lot. In a single thread and also multi-thread, you need very high speed RAM, whereas this, with just some cheap XPG 6000 MHz RAM, we're good. And we can also save money on our motherboard because Intel hasn't released their B series chipset yet. So we only have Z890. So here with a B650, just cheap older gen, because the B850 are trash. Don't buy them, it's literally wasted money. So we can save some money. Interesting thing is our SSD. So we're going with a lower speed drive, just 3000 megabytes per second, but they claim this has 3D NAND flash. Now, if you've been around the PC industry for a while, you know that this is the technology that was inside the first generation of very good NVMEs. This is interesting just because of the price, because 3000 megabytes per second, 2 terabyte, and it's literally 90 bucks on Amazon. Very cheap for 2 terabyte. So let's see if it's decent, and nothing, guys. Let's build this thing up. Let's see what this Phanteks stuff is all about. Because we know the performance, but actually, if you get a very good cooler, and if you know what to do to your CPU, we can get quite a bit of extra performance. So this is not wasted money, and it's not just aesthetics. Let's get started, let's get building. Well guys, here we are with the build finished. And now let me tell you, I was not expecting Phanteks to do this well. I'm gonna just tell you guys, this is insane. So these may be the best components you can buy with a mid-range price and a high-end quality. And now they didn't pay me for this review, okay? Disclaimer, because most reviews nowadays are biased. But so let's start from the actual CPU cooler, okay? So that has a variety of features, small features, which show the attention to details, which make it stand out. It's the same thing I saw with the Valkyrie hardware lately. It comes with pre-applied thermal paste and also a pre-applied mounting bracket, so you can save time, which is something I care a lot about. Yet, they still give you a tube of paste, in case you need to change it at a later date, or in case your application doesn't go right, maybe your CPU is not working. That's very important in my opinion, because not everybody has a lot of paste lying around. Then the 3 fans, which are actually 3 singular M25 fans, they can be wirelessly attached like the linear fans, and they are pre-attached, so it's going to be super easy for you to actually slot them on the all-in-one. But here, icing on the cake, you actually get little plastic covers with a very premium feels, which go and cover the screw hole. In this way, the radiator looks like it's made of a single piece, because all the fans are connected, you have a single wire, and you don't even see the screws. So that is something I like to see. Plus, all the fans have the infinity mirror look at the center of the blade, and even the little fan inside the pump, which is there to cool the VRMs on your motherboard, which is something pretty important if you're overclocking your system. That fan is also RGB, and that fan also has a small infinity mirror on the inside. Tell me if that is not crazy. What's also crazy is, even though the connector is proprietary, it has an adapter to a standard 3-pin, to a standard 4-pin, and it is addressable by any kind of motherboard software with no controller, so you don't need a chunky RGB controller on the back. And if you're buying a Phanteks case, you can connect the fan to the case and control stuff from the top with the buttons as well. Very good integration, but still being flexible to be integrated with other brands, so you don't have to go mono brand and get everything from Phanteks if you don't want to. Now, another cool thing with the all-in-one, they give you tube locks, which are very useful, especially if you have a crowned case and you need to do some tube management. Those come in handy, but also for the looks, and they preserve the tubes from being distanced, which is also important in the long run. So again, small little touches which may seem not that important, but with a price of around 130 bucks, this thing comes in with a lot of value. Now, the all-in-one space is very hard to compete in nowadays if you don't have good performance, but again, the performance on this is good. So I'm gonna show you right now the hardware monitor figure after I run a quick 3D Mark Firestrike. Again, the focus of this build is not the performance, but you can see that everything is running cool and quiet GPU too, because of course we have a lot of fans in the system. And the case has a crazy good airflow. All those tests were made with the side panel closed. So that's very important to properly measure how it's working. Now, the case itself, they sell it to you with no fans, but you can get it for relatively cheap. It comes in at around the 100 bucks mark, depending on where you buy it from. Now, the fans are not the cheapest, but you can also put cheaper fans if you want. But these, they're all Phanteks, they all integrate with the case, they integrate with the all-in-one, so I think they're worth the buy. You can buy them in the wireless packaging when they are all free attached, or singularly. If you buy them singularly though, you have to connect them to an all-in-one or to a 3-piece. So that's the only issue I want to say, is they don't give you an adapter cable to connect them directly to the motherboard. If you buy the single fan, you can only daisy chain it to other Phanteks fans. And you don't need a controller, but you need a cable adapter. Now, the cable adapter is going to be either in the all-in-one, in the case, or in the 3-piece fan. So really, unless you just buy one single fan, you're gonna be all right. So that's not really negative. However, I would have liked to see an extra cable included with a single pack of fans. That's really the only issue I saw so far. Case, pretty big, and it has a lot of attention to detail too. So first of all, the aesthetics, okay? So this is slightly tilted, around 15 to 20 degrees on the bottom and on the back. In this way, the PC is facing towards you, instead of being just flat. That also comes a lot better in the footage and in the pictures. So if it's looking better on video, it's thanks to this, but it actually looks better in real life too. It looks like the GPU is coming towards you, which I like a lot. So aesthetics is on point. I also really like the LED strip. I think it's not too tacky compared to other brands we tried. The materials are very good. It's all glass and aluminum, premium stuff. And also, I really hate the tilt-off mechanisms on the back to take off side panels. This one, it looks like it would tilt off. after taking off the top, but actually it just has 2 screws, so it's a lot better to work with and also a lot safer if you have to transport it, because you don't risk your side panel just popping off for no reason. Cable management is done very well, and I don't cable manage my builds, I just connect stuff, and it automatically pretty much cable manages itself. It has rubber grommets, routes, and it even has cable management routes on the back of the case. That's crazy, and it's actually very good because I always do cable management on my desk, and this helps to keep the desk nice and tidy. We have the routes for the PSU cable and for all the motherboard's connectors as well. Now for the I/O, it's pretty standard. We have a USB-C, USB 3.0, we have a reset button, 2 RGB buttons, and a power on and off button. All in all, nothing is missing, and even the I/O port has a pretty interesting design. Building in it is insanely easy because it's spacious, and it also comes with an included GPU anti-sag stand. One critique I may make is that it's not touching my GPU really, but the point is it doesn't have to, because if the GPU is small, like mine, it's not gonna sag. If the GPU is bigger, you can actually connect to it. Now this anti-sag bracket is finally made really well, because you can not only regulate it up and down, but also forward and back in this direction pretty much. In this way, if your GPU has fans in a bit of a weird place, you're not gonna touch the fans. In a lot of cases, I was just touching the fan with the anti-sag bracket. All of these are like tiny details that make the difference. It's something we don't find on higher end cases, but nowadays Phanteks is delivering it on a mid-range case. And I haven't even mentioned this fan. So this fan is tilted and it's directed towards the GPU. So the airflow in this case is basically intake from the side, intake from the bottom, outtake from the top, outtake from the back. 4 in, 4 out, perfectly balanced. And you can buy reverse blade fans from Lee, so they don't even look reversed. And this fan also is pretty cool to mount because you actually take the bracket off the case and don't have to awkwardly mount it in the case. So it's very good. Like if you can tell, I'm very impressed. Now let's go and talk about the power supply. So not everything is perfect, because the power supply, even though it's a very good unit, very good ripple, very good performance, and lots of cables, and it comes with sleeved cables, which I was not expecting. They give you a lot of stuff to cable manage. They give you zip ties, they give you extra stuff. They even give you the combs for the sleeved cables. It's very good. However, one issue is that the combs and in the cables don't fit perfectly. So I am a bit critic about sleeved cables. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know. And of course, I don't expect a PSU with a pre-included set of cables for this price, which is again affordable relatively for the mid-range. Don't expect it to be like a high-end set of cables, which cost $100 for the set. So I can't complain too much, but I think they can improve the combs a little bit. The 12-volt high power adapter, which is the most difficult one, is actually good. But the one for the motherboard and the one for the CPU, I find it was a bit hard to actually get the cables in. But that's because the cables are very thick and the sleeve is very thick, which means it's good quality. So again, I would just make the combs a bit better, and I think it will be perfect. I 100% recommend you go ahead and buy all this Phanteks stuff and even replicate this build. I think it looks very cool, but you guys decide that. Actually, let me know in the comments what you think about the aesthetics, what you think about the price as usual. Even though I recommend the cooler, the case, the power supply, and the fans, we haven't finished because we're also taking a look at the iSonics i3000 SSD. And now I ran a quick crystal disk mark for that. And the interesting part about that is they also give you an included cooler, a heatsink. Now, since the motherboard I used here was absolutely trash, didn't even have an heatsink. So I actually really appreciated they gave me one, because first of all, it gives the PC a cleaner look, but it also helps cool the SSD. Now we have a lot of airflow, so we don't have any issues. And I will actually show you the result of the crystal disk mark. It's running over what they promised you on the box. Again, it's a relatively slow SSD, 3000 megabytes per second, but plenty for gaming and storage. And it's very affordable, coming in at $90 for 2 terabytes. So it gets my full recommendation, seeing that they also give you the screwdriver, the heatsink. I don't see why you shouldn't buy it if you're after that kind of component. And again, I don't recommend it if you're doing video editing or if you're a professional, but for storage gaming, I do recommend it 100%. And with that, we actually finished the build, because again, motherboard is really bad, and yeah, CPU, GPU, and RAM is the usual stuff you guys see on the channel. So let me know if you like this build, and also if you like this kind of video where I talk more about the components, more about hardware, and less about gaming, less about performance. And this is what I really like. I also like gaming, but I really like just going in depth for hardware. So let me know, and I really want to see more stuff from Phanteks. Really, I want to see what they're gonna do. If you like the video this far, drop a like, subscribe, and see you guys again. Thank you for your time. Bye bye.